Hello. This week I'd like to discuss something that's dear to all of our hearts. Maturation, maturity, growing up. Now, I think most of us, we get to be around 20, 25 years old and suddenly we're awake in the world. Gosh, I'm now a man, woman, and I have to go forward in life. But prior to this, I think it's a great time of anxiety, fear, looking at the body. Do I like my body, etc., etc.? What will I do with my life? Those kinds of questions. Now, for me, growing up, I had a lot of hardship, a lot of difficulty. The small village, I was a little bit uncomfortable, but one of the ways you could have established a social status, if you will, in your own given hierarchy in the village was a car. If you owned a car as a young man, you had a girlfriend, in theory. Now, I had a part-time job, saved quite a bit of money. I had enough money for a car. So I went to my father and I said, Dad, I'm going to buy a car. And he said to me, Leon, young men don't own cars. I said, well, Dad, everyone in our village owns a car. He said, yes, Leon, but not you. Not you. You have to wait until you graduate from high school. So I was very angry with my father, but regardless, no car for me. So then, fortunately, some dear soul in the village donated a car to the school. And the losers who didn't own a car were then going to work on the car and be able to at least share a car amongst themselves, so to speak. So we worked on the car. We were at a time, I should explain, we were at a time, great division of the sexes. The boys learned shop, woodworking, and the girls learned sewing, cooking, etc., etc. So, and I wasn't very mechanical, but regardless, I worked on this car. So then the rumor begins. These young men, ostensibly the losers, if you will, are going to present this car. So this one beautiful spring afternoon, if I recollect, the young ladies were sitting outside of the school, and we arrived at school, and clean shirts, shoes were shined, hair was brushed, and we're now going to drive the car. But we had a bit of a problem. Who was going to be the chauffeur? So, hierarchy, we had a bit of a fight. Somebody got punched, but eventually one young man was given the task of driving the car. It wasn't me, fortunately, as it turned out. So we get into the car. We proceed out of the shop. The doors open, out of the shop into the parking lot. It was gravel. He revved up the car, dropped it into first gear, screaming out of the parking lot. But someone had not tightened a screw, quite obviously, because the transmission exploded, and pieces and chunks of it fell out of the back of the car. But the car was already propelling itself, if you will, through the parking lot, making these horrible sounds. So it finally halted, unfortunately, right in front of the young ladies, the single young ladies, who by this time were laughing, of course, tears running down their eyes. We looked like absolute fools. But worse than this, we looked like we didn't know what we were doing at all. So in the end, no car until I graduated from high school. Obviously, no girlfriend. But I learned something about maturation, and that is we really have to we really have to ponder in life if we want to mature. You know, and in the world today, I think a lot of people aren't mature. They're not thinking, because the war and the violence that seems to continue. This is Christmas season. This is the time, supposedly, of Christ's birth. It's a time of peace and love, but yet war continues. So we must be more mature. So my name is Leon Lacouvé, the grandfather, and I wish you and your families a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, a wonderful season. Please take care. Leon Lacouvé, the grandfather. And critical thinking. Critical thinking is, of course, as we can see, necessary, and critical thinking is great. To you. Please have a wonderful day. Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.